offensive. Hello and welcome to another video on Task Ninja and automation. In the last session, last two videos, basically we got to know about what is the structure, how the Task Ninja executes particular workflow, and what are the components of workflow, task config, where we saw theoretical as well as practical for each and every component. And now we're gonna make some dummy workflows that will gonna help us understanding further. So the planned workflow for today would be subdomain discovery. It will be passive, of course. Active will gonna be will gonna take significant time, so it's not something that will gonna be focused as such for now. But yeah, passive would be quite faster compared to. So let me quick shift to my code and we'll make. As said, we'll be focused on creating another work for the passive subdomain discovery, and there are three major components that are required for. First one is of course config that will gonna that will gonna have all the required configuration for the entire flow. Pairs for variables that can allow us to have input, output, and not. Tasks gonna contain all the different tasks that you wish to define. Within the config, what I'm gonna do, I'll copy it from the different workflow that I have already created, and that will gonna just time save. So it will gonna discovery of passive subdomains, author, whoever the author name. So let's say you contributed this particular workflow for the community. You have to just add your name. It will gonna be displayed for Task Ninja, for your workflow name, the top level domain list that you wish to provide here. And for the same, what I'm gonna do, I'll quickly create a full directory that is with test, and I'm gonna echo. Let's say I'm gonna choose tesla.com to test and tl.com. Gonna choose next, let's say not Tesla, put it out same, and third one, a harman.com. Those are the three domains that I'm gonna be focused here within the test, the target one. Now, as we have here tld underscore list, if you want to have something else, for an example, let's say just a list, not a tld list, then you can totally up to just have to create one variable with that particular list. The task you just have to let's say first name, whatever the whatever the name that you want to wish to give your for node. So here I'm gonna choose GIDC AID domains. What is GIDC subdomains? Is one of the way that could allow us to discover subdomains for provided domain. And yeah, that you just search around to get more information. I'm just gonna focus on task and automation here. Silent, it will gonna be parsed through because I don't want the visual parallel. I'll just gonna keep it let's for now, and if it in case if it is required, then I'll gonna just that's not a type. As we have a list here input, then yeah, we just have to make it dynamic so it can rotate through each lines. I'm gonna make it dynamic and dynamic file. That would be the input. It's nothing but list that you provided. The next here threads, whatever the number of threads. Right now I just have three domains, so I want three of those would be running parallelly. So three Docker images or Docker containers will be up running. Image that I want to be used, of course you can specify anywhere, there is no restrictions. Image I want to use Rubensu, that is own GitHub, not the GitHub, yeah, Docker repo, and the name is the IDC. Let me just copy it out. The IDC, the latest. Now, this particular Docker image is created in a way that it requires input as just target target domain, and the output file. So let me just write it. CMDS is a list of array. I want it to have my dynamic file, and I want to save the result into out slash output.t, where I want output. Now let's say apart from GIDC subdomain, other than this, you can just do like copy and paste to save a little bit of time. Instead of GIDC subdomain, let's say I want to use asset finder. I have just specified that you have to change the image name for asset finder. It's pop it out here. Again, it will be dynamic. The list content will gonna be shuffled through. As it is parallel false, it will just run 3 containers at a time and one engine means one task at a time. And within that task, it will first use 3 different containers and complete that particular task. Scroll a bit. Yeah, for asset finder, the command is different. So it will gonna be, let's say I want to get the subdomains. So there is an argument hyphen only, and whatever your dynamic file is, and the output folder. Whatever argument you want, you just have to specify here. The hyphen subs only will gonna give you all the subdomains, not other than subdomain. What focused for now. And asset finder is now asset finder is done. You can move towards the next, whatever you wish, up to you. Let's just quickly run only those two uh, asset finder and this PIDC subdomain, and I'll just gonna make one more with the name of, let's say, result. What this result will gonna do? It will gonna display the result, combine everything. I don't want an image for this. So like type merge file merge output. This is all because of I have installed this GitHub Copilot. Result silent, I want to be false because I want to see something in the result. Just gonna write out some commands, let me pop it out. Mounts, it will gonna require mounts. Mount will gonna have let finder. The next mount would be DC subdomains. Cat, it will be 3 times when you want to use all those mount folders. Asset finder, I want to use folder as the asset finder type of dynamic will go it subfolders like 1 2 not. I want to read, say, this asset finder hash stars output slash output dot txt. Oops, txt. Similarly, it will gonna be for GIDC domain, gonna sort unique and save output into output hive out, that will be output for the current task, and output to check what are the number of lines. So let me just write it, echo total subdomains. And now we don't want to go with this, you can just try something like cat particular file wcl total subdomains like this. If you want to specify, let's say, where this particular file is located, you can type something like echo result save host hive out. Host hive out is a folder that will gonna have that will gonna be in your Kali Linux system or whatever your host system. It will gonna be task that is built output folder. Automatically replace it with the whatever entity. That's being said, this seems to be pretty clear. Let me just cd into demo ls, fine, and let me try execute very quickly. So colon slash task link. I don't want to pass. I want to go with, let's say, dot slash. No, it's on the current directory, and the variable would be list that we have specified. List equals to whatever the list you, for an example, dot slash test and tld.t. What we're gonna do, it will execute multiple Docker containers. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just keep a watch in Docker watch Docker containers. Yes, right now no. As soon enter, we're gonna find that the containers, as we have specified three here, three different containers together. Done. Two of them, yeah, it's done. Task has finished. The next here, asset finder may gonna take extra time, but yeah, it all depends on network, all depends on your configuration of your system. It depends. Done. Perfect. So now it has total 2936 subdomains identified. Want to see the results? Here we go. And just refresh, find this Hive folder. What I mentioned earlier, it will gonna create 1, 2, and 3 based on the number of lines the particular file has. It will gonna create number of folders. First folder will gonna put output will gonna contain all the subdomains identified domain. Second output will subdomain. Similar for the third and similar. What we have identified. The result is saved in this file. Result out and output. You can change the or output file name, that is output dot something different that you wish to wanted to. But yeah, it managed to complete this particular task in 46. This could be even faster. So what I'm gonna do, I'll try to change this to parallel and let's see how it works. What I'm gonna do, let me quickly get to this workflow, and only this GIDC sub I want this to be running in a parallel. Now GIDC parallel mode, asset finder will gonna be false because I want this to be finished before. Next, you can also add required here in order to just double sure that yeah, those task has to be executed. Being said, let me just quickly re-execute and let's see how it goes. AIDC, okay, seems something didn't work. Well, there a typo? There were. For the parallel, there were a typo. It's almost it's faster than our last time, and the result is also quite different. Anyway, that's not a problem. That's it. Don't worry. And now asset finder and GIDC together. Finder, GIDC, both are running together. Gonna be quite earlier than that. This took just 10 seconds in order to get the result. Of course, the number of subdomains that are identified right now is quite less, but it because of limitations that GIDC or asset finder might gonna have. It depends. Sometimes it gives you, time it gives, because those are the free resources. Cannot 100%. You must have multiple engines in order to get the best outcome out of your inputs. That's being said, let's just add few more assets here, a few more engines here or tasks that would allow us to give some nice and decent results. So the next one I would like to add here is, say, let me pop it out. Short as it means you have to make sure that those alignments now cert as its subdomain new one getting a list from cert as is mount it very quickly. Help of mount. I want this parallel. Keep this as parallel. Gonna add that particular here, and things seems to be fine. Now I just have to read it. Add subdomain colon folder star slash output dot. Now this is there are now three different engines that will gonna be merged together. Let's see how much time it will gonna take. Again, keep everything in parallel. So let's see. Over as you see, three of them started all together. Sort sh did manage to quickly, but seems there is some error. Let's try to figure out what error. Probably it's some type of typo, and yeah, it is. Dynamic file has it is not TLD list uh, like the one we have renamed it TLD list. Now it will gonna be much better. Let me just click it out. Ping over there. Fine. Perfect. Now you see multiple Docker containers. It all depends on your OS configuration. Have good OS configuration, then this would be quite faster. But if you have one, then yeah, it's maybe unless you have to go with the less threads. But you see, it did manage to complete and get 343 dom- subdomains for three domains in just seconds. That's quite fast. So you can add multiple engines here. You can just have a lot engines that could be there. And I have our workflow posted over the workflow repository. So let me just help you to navigate. What you have to do is navigate to Task Ninja workflows, subdomains, and passive sub here. There are some additional commented lines here. For example, Chaos key. If you have this Chaos API key with you, then use it. GitHub token, subfinder config if you want, and that contains multiple API keys. And yeah, we can provide it here and just uncomment this particular part. So those are commented by default, but if you want to or wish to use, then feel free to. It will gonna be uh, quite easier, and you're gonna get it in like no time. And creation of those workflows are quite easy. You just have to reuse things. You just have to reuse some templates, and you can make your own entire workflow task. Yeah, that's what all planned for this particular video. And hope you like, hope you learned something new. That's it. That's all. See you next time.